Come on, all Gidwani gangsters.
Gidwani gangsters, come on.
We're not the underworld.
Gidwani mafia.
Okay, Gidwani gangsters.
That's it. She loves that.
That's a surname.
Over there.
Come.
Special chair.
871.
7 plus 1 is 8.
8, 7, and 1.
7 plus 1 is 8.
You mean he's 871 years old?
871.
87 plus 1.
Come on, let's go.
7 plus 1 is 8.
That's a lot of number.
Maybe other way around.
How is that?
87 plus 1. That's good.
We gotta put a plus in the middle.
Yeah, plus.
I don't have a plus.
Zareen ke.
What's that? This is like a
871.
That should be closer here.
It always ends in a 1 for good luck.
Where's Zareen?
7 plus 1. 8.
Thanks a lot.
Again. I hold it. You go there.
Can you do that again?
That is
She says
amazing.
fire.
Mom,
Amazing.
don't blow it yet.
They're waiting for Nickel and Zareen, okay? So don't blow.
That's something.
It took a lot of... Mom.
I love 71.
Where's 7?
Gilega.
One more time.
Don't do this.
Wait for
What?
Zareen. Zareen's,
Don't.
Zareen's-
Put the hat.
Hold your breath.
Put the hat in front.
Happy birthday. You need to blow together.
Start singing happy birthday now.
Happy birthday.
Zareen, right here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. Zareen, you come here.
Okay.
That's what you call a Zabardast move.
Oh, it's good now. Cut the cake. Where is Nickel?
She's got the Zabardast book.
Okay, fine.
I know, you're a strong lady.
Very nice. Thank you all my friends to come on my 80th
Speech.
birthday.
Yeah.
No, not 80th.
88.
May God give you long life.
You'll never marry another one, or you can have girlfriend. Your Baiban Amil, so what? You know what does Baiban Amil mean?
Yeah, just let go.
Amil is achi mill.
Starting now.
Baiban is bhav ke bandhu.
And you take only pictures when you
No, there's no higher and lower class in Siddhis.
then hit it, close it.
We are one.
Alright, I think I'll leave it for now.
Siddhi is the only nation which has no caste system.
Amils are higher.
Are Amils are not higher.
Yes, they are.
Amil polish jutas.
I work hard. I graduated summa cum laude.
I know.
So that's why.
Good.
How
You're
many
right.
Amils have had that?
So it's back in camera. It's back in camera.
Now, to move it down.
You're great. Yeah, good day.
I've known Dale since 1972 or 1973 when I was working at the American consulate in Osaka, Kobe, and he was the Air India station chief in the same city. He'd arrived before I did, and over over time we became acquainted in Kobe, and because he's such a remarkable fellow, and as he came to live in the United States subsequently, we kept in touch. Well, he always, that's curious because he puts it, he's always offering thanks, but the consular arrangement is not a matter of a gift. He simply earned his, he was entitled and he earned his visa, if one can put it that way, as did the family. There was nothing in the way of a contractual arrangement. He simply fulfilled the requirements and got the visa. And I always caution him on that. He's very kind and says, thank you for bringing, he puts it another way. He says often that I inspired him in some way. I find that hard to take in, frankly. He got the visa, he deserved it, and he landed here nicely and has been in the ascending ever since. Adil is an extraordinary fellow. I don't know anybody else like him. I've never met anyone like him in my life. He stands as a model for many of us because of his, well, it's character traits that I like. The history is very interesting. It's fascinating. He's been everywhere. He comes from a family with a tradition of spunk and historical importance. But what appeals to me most about him is his spark and determination. He's a dynamo. He always was. And here he is at 88, continuing in the same mode. An extraordinary man.
I've known Uncle DL for as long as I've been married, and he's one of the most amazing people I have met. His stories are just mind-blowing. He's been all over the world. He's seen life. We've seen a bit of life with him, and he was in Paris. This was many years ago. We had visited him there, and it was a totally different world than the world that we live in, and we really enjoyed being with him and with his wife Lakshmi, and our ties go back a long way. He turned 88, and he's had 88 amazing years, and I wish him all the very best. I wouldn't want to lose him, let's put it that way. He's just wonderful. I have a bay window, so I said I'm going to plant it. I'm going to keep this, if I get one, I'm going to keep it there so I have it all year round and not just the summer. So the next thing I know, I have this plant sitting in my house. Vinod brought it, and he said, Uncle thought that you'd like this. And we had gone for tea the other night, and he had this wonderful cup of tea. I love tea. So I said, oh, this is awesome. And he said, do you like it? I said, yeah, I love it. Next thing I know, I have this box of tea sitting in my house. I mean, it's like whatever I like. It's not that I want it, but he can see that I appreciated it, and so he brings it to me, and I was really touched. Those are those little things about him. He recognizes those moments. He remembers and he recognizes, and the next thing you know, it's sitting there, right there for you.
I lost my dad when I was 17, and of course DL stepped in and took care of us. So he's a compassionate guy, a lot of fun, very motivated, and growing up, there are a couple of things that really come to mind. I don't know, I was maybe 10 or 11, and we all were in a joint family, and we'd all eat together, and eat 8, 10 of us. It was like a banquet every day. And one day it was Diwali. Diwali is where festival of lights, and you kind of have these diyas burning outside. And so my sister and I, we had probably finished eating and we had gone out in the balcony, and the adults were still kind of eating. And my pajamas caught on fire. And Dale was always a fast eater. And I kind of screamed and froze, and my sister froze, and she's here tonight. And since he was a fast eater, he had washed his hands, and he saw me screaming, and he came and with his wet hands, he just put off the flames. I was, I had third-degree burns on my leg, but had it not been for his fast action, that was him. His reflexes were just awesome. And so, those are just some of the things of his. He's always there to help, he just shows up. So that was nice. And the other thing about his positive, that he's always enforcing, I tend to look at the downside of things, or I'm very cautionary, and he kind of puts caution to the to the back and looks forward. He doesn't see what can go wrong, he only looks at what can be right. And that's great. And this is a kind of a crazy example. We used to always be enamored. I mean, he used to travel and come home, and I'd come back from New York, and the first trip, I remember Lakshmi, and we sat in the last, it was their bedroom, and I was in awe. They were unpacking, and they'd have this ashtray from Copacabana, and all these, as a kid, 12, 13, it leaves an impression. I still remember it. You're in India, and America is like this, far away, and all these fabulous things happen here, and it's just, everything, you start getting impressed, and you say, wow, everything's a wow. And so it was one time, and they would, because he was in the travel business, they would entertain in 5-star hotels, and where would we really go? We'd get these opportunities to go and eat in these fancy places. And so one night he was in the city, going from Spain or something, and he was staying in one of these 5-star places. So he invited us for breakfast. He had a good time, but he always thought of family. So he came and he said, would you like to have something to drink? So I said, would you like some orange juice? So I said, I wouldn't mind. So he says, don't say wouldn't mind. Say, I'd love to have. So what I'm saying is that everything was, all these little things make you feel, so he's just a great guy. I can't say anything else. He's just amazing. Even what he does today, it's taking care of his wife and whatever. Nothing sets him back. There's nothing negative. He can't see anything negative. A lot of people will only look at the negative, and that's he just uplifts everything. I wish he's here forever. I wish him well. I hope his wife, Lakshmi, we used to call her auntie, and I know my kid was 3 years old. We had gone to Paris, and she, how kids like to touch stuff, and so she would say, Sanjay, I'll give you a little putt-putt. If you keep, so then we called her Auntie Putt-Putt. So to this day, my elder son will always say he knows, who's Auntie Putt-Putt. So, we hope they've been great to the family, and hope, she gets better, and I think that will be the biggest gift for him. And so I really wish them well, and, and that we all remain strong and for both of them.
And I married out of my community, so he was a very big part of, because I lost my father at a young age, and he did help me to get married, and he was responsible for he was my father when I got married. So we have a lot of good memories with him when we grew up. And then he moved off to the States, and I still live in India, and we did have a great time with him and his wife, Lachu. Oh, his leg on fire. Yes, it was Diwali, and we were having kind of, we had candles burning in the garden, in the balcony, and we lived in a first-floor apartment, which was a main road of Churchgate. Suddenly his pajamas got fire on the candle, and I remember we all screamed and shouted, but thank God he was saved at that time. That was Diwali time. But there have been a lot of things. When my father passed away, Diyal was very responsible for looking after all of us. We were all very young, and he was in Paris or in Spain, and he did come and he did look after us when we were by ourselves. I'd love to see him well for whatever time he has on this earth, and I wish him all the best.
Dale has a vibrant personality, always young at heart and mind. Even now, his involvement and dedication to Sindhology is tremendous. I'm happy to attend his 80th birthday. I wish all the best because he deserves it all.
So Dad, wow, 88. I hope I make it to 88. And we love you, and you've taken care of us, and wow, many more years. And all the best.
Dad, you are amazing. You really impress us all the time with your strength and your courage and just the way you're able to do all the things that you're managing to do at 88. That is very impressive. You constantly amaze us, and we're very, very proud of you, and we're very proud to be your children. You're a great man, and we love you, and just want to greet you happy 88th birthday. Happy birthday. We love you, Dad. Take care.
Hi, Dada. Just want to wish you happy 88th birthday. Glad to be here, and we're enjoying our time.
Hey, Dad. How's it going? Just came from the party outside into this room, and we want to wish you a happy birthday.
And many more. We love you very much.
And the card said love you also.
Well, one of our common friends, Ram Advani, happened to know DL or G, and he needed some advice about taxes and doing some, about his business, which he had started, Introvert. So that is how I met G, and came to know and became very good friends. We are not just business friends, we became a family friends. So we have kept that relationship since then.
I wish you a very happy birthday and many, many more. And hope you have, God bless you with good health and happiness and peace.
When G started Sindhology, that is his passion. He wanted to share his culture with, other people to know about Sindhology, what it means to the Sindhus. And I have been part of this Sindhology, helping them. And G gets very, very personal to him, more than his business. Intraworld is his business. He's the one who brought up that business. But more than that, he cherished that memory. He believes that Sindhology is something that all Sindhu can come together. And, many stories he has shared with me. Some other funny, some other different. But it has got, I'm very touched with G's, his fervent about, bringing this Sindhology. And also, he is more than that. He is very personable, sweet person, and he's willing to help others. And always smile, determination. That makes him a very special person.
There you go.
Hi, dear G. This is such a wonderful occasion. I wish you many more happy returns of the day. You're a most warming and a cheerful person. And it is a truly blessing for me to know you and like me and your children. And may the Lord bless you, keep you under your constant love and under your protection, give you many more happy opportunities for us to come together and celebrate. Happy birthday, G.
Dayal is a very visionary person. I have been following him for the last 20 years, maybe more. Very impressed with what he's done, and more recently I've joined with him on the American Institute of Sindhology, and and he's invited me to be on the board, and I'm very, very honored to be on the board and help him in executing his vision and the mission of the organization. My wife and I, we did not want to miss his birthday party, and I was very thrilled when I was invited by Anil, his son, and here we are. We've seen Dayal in action, and in how he has created this organization that I think will help not only the Sindhis but the Americans and humanity in general, because his vision of non-violence and non-killing, and he says a phrase in Sindhi. He says Rat ji nadiyon piu wahan, which basically translates that the rivers of blood are flowing all over the world and something needs to be done about that. And his vision is to stop that through dissemination of the non-violence vision of Mahatma Gandhi, which is of course based on the Hindu principle of ahimsa, and the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Aung San Suu Kyi, and others who have followed in his footstep to create a society of harmony and peace. I am not sure, given humans' inhumanity to other humans, whether this will be attained or not, but it certainly is a worthwhile cause of world peace and non-violence and non-killing of humans. So I'm really glad to be with Dayal on this journey, and will do whatever I can to support. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dayal. Happy birthday to you. May God bless you. Happy birthday to you, Dayal.
Remember the first time when we met Dayal, we had been invited to his place, and I was a youngster, and I thought he's much older, and so I called him uncle. Remember, he corrected me. He said, "I'm not your uncle." He had that spirit at that time too. So we became really good friends after that. We have been known him for so many times. He's come to our house so many times after that. And of course, he used to say all things in Sindhi, combine the Sindhi language and English language.
So don't say everything, because then I'll have nothing to say.
So you can say that.
So the one thing we've admired Dayal for particularly is his passion for the Sindhis. We're all Sindhis, and since 1947 and before that, even before we were born, the Sindhis have gone through such a struggle, and though our parents have struggled more than we did, because we were not really quite there yet, but his passion for Sindh and for Sindhis is what has really drawn us to him.
It's not just that, his passion for anything that he wants to do. He established this American Institute of Sindhology, and he has put his heart and soul into it, and it's come a long way. It's really making good progress now.
His skill for networking is amazing, and he is connected with people all over the world, with Sindhis all over the world.
Yeah, wherever he's gone actually. He was in Japan, he was in Calcutta, where I grew up actually, and he did very well there, made friends with, spoke their language, and learned to make friends. Went to Japan, made friends there, and today we are seeing friends from Japan and Paris. What's his name? Dick, who's there too with him, and many other friends we have met over the years.
So we wish Dayal all the very, very best. I would just sing 2 lines for him, if I may. It's a song of blessing for you, Dayal, and it is from the Guru Granth Sahib. It goes like this: जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी सो दुख कैसा पावे जिसके सिर ऊपर तू स्वामी so dukh kaisa paave. So you have the hand of God on you and you'll always be very happy. The way you're looking after Lachu is amazing, and we really love you and wish you all the very, very best. We hope to celebrate your next birthday together with you.
We are so proud to be your friend.
Hi Dada, I love you so much. You're just, I don't know what to say. You're just the greatest grandfather ever. You've been so great and I just love you so much. And Roxy loves you too.
Oh.
Love you, Grandpa. Yeah. Love you. Happy birthday.